Carl and Lou here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's track by track time as we picked a random NOFX album. It really was a random one, wasn't it?
That was my one.
Yeah, The War on Errorism, the 9th studio album by the American punk rock band, released May 6, 2003 through Fat Wreck Chords. The album is very political, takes aim at the US President George W. Bush, criticising him and his policies, while the cover features a cartoon version of the president as a clown. The back of the cover booklet and the run-out groove has a caption stating, "Somewhere in Texas there is a village without its idiot." So, you know.
Yeah, this album's very, very political, and obviously at the time, 2003, it's the height of everything going on, wasn't it? So it's, I mean, I thought an album like that would date itself, but when you listen to it, there's a lot of things that are still current today, a lot of problems that
of course,
still
politics are politics, yeah.
Yeah, and it never changes, and it's still like, oh, okay, that still doesn't sound like, oh, yeah, that's clearly written 2003. It's like, yeah, I appreciated that, because at first I was like, it's going to be a bit of a slog. But I don't know any NOFX before this.
What was that?
I know NOFX.
NOFX.
NOFX, I know. All I knew was the guy had his own record company, the guy.
Yeah, okay.
Singer. That's all I knew of them. But, yeah.
I mean, I've heard the hits over the years. Certainly never listened to a full album. Did you think this was a good album overall?
I don't know if I put it on a...
middle for me.
Yeah, middle. I feel like a NoFX. I did it again. I feel like a NoFX fan might suggest me for a different album, like an earlier one or a later one.
Depends, I reckon, on taste on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not the best introduction to NoFX.
It was a random one that we decided to throw in. We decided we'd do a NoFX album, and this was what we came up with.
Yeah, and the title just stood out, and I was like, right, just go for that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd probably give NoFX a go with other stuff. So maybe go for like a playlist of all their tracks and kind of go from there and get a better idea. But it wasn't a bad introduction.
No, that's fair. Well, let's get into it then.
Yeah.
Beginning with Separation of Church and Skate. I like to start. Yeah, we want to go to the punk rock show, basically.
Yeah.
This is a nice burst of punk energy to get things started, and I feel the political fire that exists in their bellies on this track.
I like the 50s American spoken in. You felt it very 50s. What do you want to do, kids? I like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice fast drum intro, built nicely. I called it a Member Berries track about the good old days of punk.
Basically, yeah. Skate punk, yeah.
Like they said it used to be dangerous, and now it's just a bit commercial.
Which is really funny because a lot of the tracks in this are super commercial.
Yeah, so it's funny that maybe I'm a bit more self-aware by the end of the album.
Maybe.
But I do like the raspy vocals.
Yeah.
Lost in a sea of combat boots. Flush of not turned into wasted youth. We deep for crap because those things. When did the sin become a joke? The kids who used to live for beer and speed.
The irrationality of rationality. A bit more pop punky, but I like it. The rhythm is very bouncy and fun while still having a bit of snark about it.
I like that there's a church organ they use in it.
Yeah.
That I liked. I could have done with more of that. Like
Okay.
It was a brief snippet of it, and then just went back in. It didn't lead to anything. But I enjoyed having a little bit of a different element to it. And I like the content, the lyrics in that one. I really appreciated.
Okay. Franco Un-American. It's the same for me with this one. Pop punky, rhythm bouncy and stuff like that. But I think it's a bit catchier. Again, I'm a fan as it's got nice lyrical clarity while still letting the instrument shine.
So I didn't like the symphony noise on this one.
Okay.
I found it a bit repetitive. But I'm glad the songs don't outstay their welcome.
Oh, that's a big part of this album, yeah. You know,
so
if you're not really
short.
enjoying it, it tends to be over quite quick.
They don't hang around, do they?
No. Idiots Are Taking Over. Keeping things fast. This is a ball of energy, and I love the snarl in the vocals. It's damn catchy too. A really great track that hits hard for me. And then we drop into a ska-like rhythm for even more fun before going back up with force. Yeah, big fan of this one.
I liked it, but I didn't like the ska breakdown.
Really?
It felt a bit jammed in for me.
See, we got different tastes in ska, innit?
Yeah. I don't know. I'd say the track is still true today, so what I mentioned at the beginning. So idiots are taking over. Like, there's still plenty of idiots out there. So a song about them doesn't really age.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. You can apply that to any political... Whatever your political leaning is, you can apply that track to. Yeah. You know, in America, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you can apply it to either side. In this country, if you're a Conservative or a Labour or a Green Party, you can apply it to anything you want.
Yeah.
She's Nubs. The mellow start threw me off, but it turns into a short and sharp jab of punk noise.
I liked it. Fun, good pacing, very catchy. She's Nubs.
Fair enough.
I liked it. She's Nubs.
Cause we think that she's totally rad, she's nuts. No fingers, no toes, she doesn't own elbows. No phalanges, no nominees, do not.
Mattersville. Simple, chilled out melody, burst of punk energy. Nothing wrong with this, but hardly the strongest of stuff.
I like the 50s sitcom. I called it 50s sitcom piano in the background.
Okay.
That's what I got from it, like the plinky bit. I like the idea of punks getting old together. I quite like that. And they're talking about retiring and like living together. I quite like the idea of that. So yeah, it's quite a sweet track.
Decomposer. A heavier sounding effort. The clash of drums and guitars is much messier here, but I do like it.
Nice and bassy. The extra guitars are really good. Take the track up a level.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
really,
it's quite different.
especially after the last track. I was like, oh yeah, we're a bit more punchy.
Mediocre. The pacing of this track is weird. The mellow start, the peppier pace and burst of heavy rock and back again. I find it very addictive to listen to though, and it's one of the few on this album that ended and I went back and listened to again straight away.
Yeah, I listened to it twice.
Like I almost needed to take it in a second time to try and fully understand what I just heard, and that to me was a good sign.
I thought it was a very clever track because they on purpose made it a low key, laid back track to kind of match the lyrics what they were singing about.
Of course.
Obviously, it's like bands just churning out songs and you're like, oh, play what we know and things like that. Yeah, it works with the lyrics. The build up at the end is fun. So yeah, I really appreciate Mediocre.
Yeah, I think so too. Anarchy Camp. I wrote the sax, ha ha. It's a very ska-like track. The imagery of good times, warm beaches, and fun created by the music works brilliantly against the track content. I really like it.
I thought, saxophone and ska.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that one. The drop in energy is obvious. I like the backing vocals, although I thought they would have been better on Mattersville, but just not as a complete package. It didn't work for me. I didn't like this one.
Oh.
Got an invitation to go to anarchy camp.
American Errorist, in brackets, I hate haters. A welcome injection of punk noise, the guitars and drums leave them ringing in the ears.
Pace picked up on this one, so I let him off for the last, what I said about the last song.
Fair enough.
Great pace, guitars and content all work together. Short, sweet, and really enjoyed this one.
We got Two Jealous Agains. Another short and sharp jab of punk energy. That is nothing special, but that kind of just means it's good, you know?
Yeah, same for me. Like at first, the track title confused me. I was like, "What? I don't get what it means." And then when you listen to it, it's just about couples. Obviously, their record collections matching, and you're like, "Oh, sweet. We can kind of get on. We've got 2 copies of the same album."
Yeah.
Not really a memorable track,
No.
but just a roll call filler track, I would call it.
That's what I would think. Yeah, exactly that.
Just naming your bands that you like.
Yeah, 13 Stitches. One of the most lacking tracks for me personally. I feel like I've heard its rhythm already. It never goes anywhere that I really care about, even if I do like the deeper bass sounds.
Yeah, I like the muted sound of this one.
Okay.
I like the ska elements in this one. So I don't know, a bit weird on that one. I like the storytelling, gig injuries. I quite like that one. Just like, yeah, got messed up at a gig. The t-shirt looked good after I washed it. I quite like that.
You're heavily focused on the lyrical content in this album.
I do,
Yeah. Regaining Unconsciousness. I think the album is losing its way now as this is the same punky speed and energy that we've heard countless times. I can identify the different riffing, but it doesn't create anything fresh sounding. I'm kind of ready for this album to end now.
Oh, see, I didn't mind this one. I really like the lyrics. No other elements, just angry punk track. So kind of stripped it away a little bit, and I really liked it.
Okay. I do think we have like different things we want from this album.
Yeah.
You know? But it does end with Whoops, I OD'd. And I'm glad it ends with such a high point though. I really like the somber touch to this. It's a very solid finish.
Shortness of breath. Call ambulance. Tell my Wi-Fi. Error in judge.
Yeah, I like the fuzzy guitar and the simplicity of the track. Nothing to distract you from the lyrics. Like you actually said, we should like listen to what we're actually saying, and it's kind of because sometimes a lot of people look at punk rock bands as a bit jokey, and this song's a bit more,
of course,
a bit more melancholy, and it was a nice way to finish.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid finish, particularly you got plenty of fast-paced punk rock songs on there. You know, we can end with something a bit different. All right, then top 3. I have a funny feeling we're gonna be quite different here.
So I put Decomposer, She's Nubs.
Yep.
And The Separation of Church and Escape.
Completely different. Idiots Are Taking Over, Mediocre, and Anarchy Camp.
Oh,
there you go.
different.
There's
Yeah.
my 3. Yeah, overall, it's a good album. Not a great album. It's a bit too hit and miss at times for me. I definitely think we probably would find better NOFX albums to listen to and enjoy. But there's enough intrigue in this, and I really like the political edge. It's got, I like that shit.
It wasn't too much. It wasn't jammed down your throat. I originally thought it was going to be.
It wasn't on the nose. It wasn't just going, George Bush is a prick. American politics suck. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't that kind of stuff.
It didn't feel like we have to make this album, just put it out at this kind of point in time.
It felt smarter.
Yeah, which I appreciated.
But let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?